Dan's Garage intro, front end sheet metal 1972 Malibu, take one.
Hey Gearheads, thanks for tuning in. On this episode of Dan's Garage, Dan is fixing this? Dan's cleaning up this mess and putting back on the fender and the hood, which is all the way over there. Let's see if he gets hurt. Hey Dan, on that intro, that was way too enthusiastic. I said, let's see if he gets hurt.
Hey Gearheads, thanks for tuning in. It's another clean out episode. I know, they're getting crazy, but this one's getting closer to completion. So this engine bay just has a lot of leaves in it. Obviously it's not like an interior or a trunk. We're not going to find any gems in here, except there is another grill in here, but I think I put that in to replace the one that's on it. This one actually has a 71 grill. Not sure why, but I do have a couple extra 72 grills, so we're going to replace that. I want to clean out this interior. We'll take a kind of look around and show you what it looks like. And then of course we are missing something here. We've gone through a couple different fenders, so I finally got a fender that's going to work. So we're going to try and shim it up and get it to fit well, and then we'll go ahead and put the hinge on it. We're going to put the hood on. But first, after I clean it out, I need to clean a spot up here for the VIN tag, because the inspectors inspected it. The VIN tag up here, as we've discussed, is too rusted and can't be seen. So I do have to clean off a spot on the firewall for a sticker, and I also have to clean off a spot in the door jamb for a sticker, but I can do that later after we do all this. So I'm going to clean this out, and then we'll give you a little tour. Alright, so I got as many leaves as I can cleaned out here. So we knew that I took this inner fender well out to get the heater core cover off to get those hidden VINs. And we're going to put that back on. Even though it's cracked, it'll just make it look better. And we do have the wiper motor over here. The master and booster are gone. This car does have disc brakes, and it looks like from the size of the lines that it is a disc drum car. It does have the power steering pump on it with the hoses. It also has the charcoal can if you want to put emissions back into it. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. I'm going to clean a spot over there for the sticker, but for now, that's pretty much what the engine bay looks like. I'm going to go ahead and get that inner fender well on, and the rad sport is there. We'll go ahead and get that inner fender well on, and then we're going to go ahead and show you this fender and get that on. Alright, so this is real dirty, but it's going to go back in. Like I said, it's broken, but it's here. I also noticed it says General Motors of Canada. So, Canadian Bubba, Sean, Andy, Keith, thank you guys for donating your country to our hot rods. Honestly, I didn't really even know parts of Chevelles were made in Canada, but it's a 72, so you never know. The only part of this that's still kind of intact is these top two portions. So I tapped and dyed the threads on these, and we'll put these back up, these big washers, and then we'll move on to that fender. Alright, so here's our fender for this, and this one does have this inner part that the hinge is going to bolt to for the hood, so that's what the other one was missing. So I'm just going to get this positioned in here gently, and it does have to go behind this headlight bucket. Normally you wouldn't have the headlight bucket in, but this one's in and I can't get it out, or else I'd have to take the bumper off, so we're just going to sneak it back in here, get it behind the bumper. There we go. So, obviously I'm not going to mount this perfectly because, well, it's going to have to be taken off anyway. But I did put the door on, so I'm going to try to shim it the correct way. So we have shims here that will bring it forward and back, so that'll kind of set our gap. We have shims up here that we can use to set where the top needs to be on the back, and then we'll put some bolts in here, and we'll just see if we can match that up to the headlight bezel a bit. Let me get some bolts started in here, and then we'll go ahead and shim it. Now, if you've ever watched my YouTube show, which you probably have if you're here. If you haven't, go check out my old episodes. I'm not a body man. I'm barely a mechanic. I'm just a guy that likes to work on cars. I like to figure stuff out myself. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start these bolts. This one's not too long, so you can see here, this does need to come up. There are other bolt positions on the bottom and in the front that you can use to position these things, but I'm not going to be using them. I'm just going to put these 3 in here, and then we'll see where we're at. There you go. I gently massaged it in, and I got it fitting. Now just keep in mind, each one of these attaching points, you can put shims under. I just bought one of these little horseshoe shim kits off of Amazon to put some shims under it to get it to fit. And obviously it's not in, but if you were restoring a car, you'd be a lot more careful and have more time. The most important thing is that your door opens and closes without the fender being in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hinge, and we'll put that on, and then we're going to throw this hood on. Now when you bolt your hood on, you have a little bit of slide forward and backward for when it's down. That'll give you your back to front, and then the hinges are adjustable up and down. So without having the hood on or knowing how anything's going to fit, I usually take the full distance and kind of cut it in half and lock it in there, and then once you get everything together, you can kind of snug it up, but don't tighten it, and then you can kind of move this stuff around a little bit, and then you can tighten it down. I only found one bolt for the hood, so I don't know if I can bolt it on, but I'm going to try and at least get it up here, and I thought you might want to watch. Secrets of how to get a hood on by yourself. Probably not the best way to do it, but... Yeah, that hinge collapses, this one does not, so... I think I'm going to put the bolt on the top side over here and see what happens. I got a broom handle holding the front of the hood up, because that seems like a good idea. And I'm going to see if there's any way I can get this hole to line up with this. Because if I can, with that one being collapsible, I don't really want to take the spring off of this right now. However, I probably should. But, I mean, let's give it a try. So, if I just move this forward, then I can pretty much get this where it needs to be. But now this is too tall, so I gotta lower it down. I could just get help, but that wouldn't be as much fun for you guys to watch. I could do a lot of things, but I don't. There we go. Of course, you wouldn't do this if you had new parts and they were painted. This is the only time you can have this kind of fun with a car like this. There you go. And the hood's closed. Now this may not be the right way to do this, and maybe I should have some kind of disclaimer that says I'm an idiot, don't do what I do, but I think that's already taken. Anyhow, I do have to find more bolts for the hood hinges, and then we'll be able to get this thing kind of moving up and down. Again, this whole car is going to need to be replaced pretty much, so the parts are usable for what they're usable for, and they're no good for what they're no good for. That's pretty wise. Anyhow, That's it for this one. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. Thanks for watching. Keep on wrenching.